Welcome back to the Questing Bard, everyone. I'm Angela Tom. And those of you who are new, welcome. So, today I don't have a lot I'm going to talk about. Maybe a little bit about heroes in honor of 4th of July. I know it passed, but we'll do it anyways. So, aside from that, let's just get into the updates real quickly. Don't mind Omega, she's just walking around, wandering up and down the staircase. Yeah. Okay. So I did get another rejection today from Cinnabon. I did have higher hopes with him because I felt there was a lot more I think he would have liked and enjoyed, but you know, I can't foresee them or know who they really are deep down, so this is probably just not something that... Really, Omega? Really? Uh-oh, I said her name. Alright, give me a second, you guys. Alright. She's distracted enough, I think. Sorry about the squeaking. She's playing with her toy. Okay, so but aside from that, I was having a lot of high hopes, but you know, you can't predict what they may feel or know, because I don't know him individually. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My dog was hungry, so I just gave her some food. Alright. So right now, for the first round of agents that I queried, it's now the 4th week, so hopefully I will hear back from them. In worst case, I may not. It'll be a black hole rejection, but the first one for Shay was 4 to 6 weeks, she said, so it'll still be an extra couple weeks. Okay. So we're nothing back aside from... Sorry about that. Cinnabon, and yeah, that's about it. Who's just rejected. Yeah, it was a form rejection, so. I want to believe it was customized, but it's not. Okay. So, last week I also did Grande Mocha. Grande Mocha, I feel... there's a chance. I definitely feel there's a vibe, and I think she could be very much interested. And so she was closed. She closes for most of the month. She always is open till like from the first day of the month till the 7th day, I think. So it's a very limited time. I also did Brooklyn Bridge. So Brooklyn Bridge, it's not bad. I really don't know how much to say on her. I think she'll be okay. I think she has a good vibe going. She's more interested in like character-driven thoughts and world building, layered emotional stuff, and fun science fiction and fantasy. So I think there's a chance with her. So today I did, let me think, I haven't found a nickname for this one. Today's, so Chocolate Bar. Okay, so Chocolate Bar is... currently the one I did today. I really like her. I think she has a lot of good potential. I know I probably said this with a lot of them, because she likes Lord of the Rings, likes How to Train Your Dragon and Big Hero 6, which are very vital because she has a taste for epic fantasy stuff. I more was interested in her love for How to Train Your Dragon and Big Hero 6 because those deal with a lot of good relationships and the journey and stuff of dealing with and what those relationships do for the plot and the world. So I definitely have a strong vibe with her. And Job Horror is only open on the first day of this month, so July 7th to July 15th. So I'm in the range, so that was a good thing. I got her today. Got a query to her today, so that's good. There's no real system to it. I'm a little bit ambitious right now, going with as many as I can. I just try to do one a day because someone suggested that, so that's what I've been doing. And honestly, I feel like that's the best way to go for me, is to do it, one a day, because it just makes me feel motivated, it makes me feel encouraged, like empowered that I'm doing something every day to help myself and better myself, chase my dreams and accomplish things. It's empowering to do something every day for yourself. And that's all we can really do sometimes. As it is a goal. It's not the dream that I'm achieving today. I just achieved the goals. Okay, so that's that for now. I'll keep you guys posted with any further updates. Don't know what I can say much about Heroes. So writing Heroes has been... People always say the villains are the most challenging. Oh, actually, though, they do say the heroes are, actually. But I have often found villains to be challenging, but I realize that heroes can be just as challenging, if not more. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, people roam around my house. And the house, and they interrupt, so... And I try to limit that, as much as possible. Okay, so... Writing heroes is actually quite challenging, because we don't want them to be super perfect, like Superman often feels like that, like he has this vibe of feeling almost perfect, like strong, super strong, super fast, he can fly, invulnerable, like he's immune to bullets and all these things. It's amazing, and I watched a video reaction to it of somebody, and they were one of the scenes was like, he's tall, dark, and handsome, he's strong and everything, and doesn't lie, and it's like, what woman wouldn't fall for that? It's like, it's kind of true. He's this perfect icon. So what makes him so popular? What makes him work if he's so perfect? But I think the thing is that his personality is also not perfect. That's where I think someone like him can shine as a hero. So the idea that he was very cocky in his abilities and his powers in the first film, and he had to learn and realize that you might have all the strength and power in the world, but that doesn't mean you can save everything and you can stop everything from happening. Like, he lost Lois, he had to reverse time because he was upset. He broke one of the laws of nature and stuff like that to save Lois. So we do see that his character's flawed. He is willing to break rules. He's willing to do things for his own personal interest, and that we do see that. So it's nice to see that there's flaws in him. This is referring to the original Superman, the one way back when with Christopher Reeve and John Williams and all that. So writing heroes is a challenge. It's definitely a huge challenge, because you have to make sure that they're flawed enough, but not completely constantly beating themselves up and over again until the point where you're just oh my god, like Theon Greyjoy in Game of Thrones. Oh my god, man, we get it. You've been tortured. You've been through hell and back, and we get this trauma has crippled you to such a point of being helpless. But at the same time, it's like we're getting tired of it. We're getting tired. Come on, how long are you gonna keep doing this? You can start feeling helpless for yourself. And So it's like, and then he did finally get up. He finally had enough of being that. He didn't want to be that anymore. He was getting tired. He knew. And tried to become who he wanted to become, and finally became someone better. So that's so people don't want that all the time. You see that they don't want the extreme end of completely flawed and helpless, and some people I think feel like that was the case with Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars, which I completely get. I do understand, and I do see that he, thinking back on Phantom Menace, he did understand things and he was getting things, but his arc was so small and slow that it's hard to really notice it. So I do get it. I really do understand where people are coming from on that front. But MCU is very important, and I did struggle with that with Alis. One of my characters named Alis. So she was a bit of a challenge for me. And the character Brain, she's... I felt she was a challenge originally, but then now I realize she was actually the easiest one to write and to develop, which was very interesting. Alis was not easy, because Alis had a backstory in my history, and I had to really develop. I didn't have a ground up to start with. Like, she had a backstory that I had, but it's like she wasn't like a full fresh plate. While the other character was more fresh because she didn't have a huge backstory. But she's only 12. She doesn't have many years of experience to set her up. She's going through the experience. She's learning things. So the other character is already experienced and has wisdom, has learned many things. And I'm like, how do I make someone like that flawed and not feel like a tyrant or a Mary Sue or character or something like that? It was a very difficult task for me. And I didn't realize that she was coming off in a certain way. I'm like, that was not my intent. So, but I did struggle a lot with that. So heroes are, while they're important and they're fun, they are quite challenging to write. And I'm not saying villains aren't challenging. They have their own package of, things. And I'll discuss villains on another vlog, another episode of this. Maybe next week, maybe another time. Usually I like to discuss villains in October, because, Halloween and all that. But that's pretty much it. Alright, so that's all I have for today. I know it's going to be pretty short today. Because I don't really have much to say for this week. Next week I'll be discussing the review on Snow White and the live-action Snow White. I know I did say before I'm not going to review movies and stuff, but I'm considering that. I'm not going to go into in-depth discussions on it unless that's something very significant and important to me that I really want to discuss and bring up in this vlog. But I will review it because it's still a story. It's by a story's definition, it does deserve a review, and me addressing and making that review. As a writer, as a storyteller myself, I want to make my own review on that. I will also make a blog on that specifically as a review in itself next week, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so that's all for now. Like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more future videos like this. And see y'all next week. See ya.